up. For 3. Introduce to 0. Inches out again. Hold altitude. Correction.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man.
Did you think I was joking when I said that thin little kid was on the path to becoming a man who's iconic? If you needed further proof, I present to you his new bionic. If you love the cyborg, but want one that flips out with my toy, this is break this out, my lord. It's a flipper, it's also bigger than this bitch locks. In case you don't know, Jack Wolf rocks. Ben keeps his design on point, taking the feel of a slip joint and transforming it into a bolster lock. It's time for you to discover why they're always out of stock. Low prices, high quality, creating classics, not novelties. Jack Wolf has done it again. Which one do you choose? They're all so sweet.
Oh, yeah, it's that exciting time again. It's time for another Jack Wolf Knives drop. And I'm going to tell you right now, I could not be more excited. Because this is quite a different one. This is going to be dropping Friday, October 18th, the year of our Lord 2024. And this is the Bionic Jack. The Bionic is a front-flipping, locking cyborg. And since the Cyborg is my top favorite Jack Wolf knife ever made, you know I'm going to be all over this. I'm going to be loving this. Let's get this opened up, see what it's all about. As always, you're going to get the cool custom packaging with the POG inside. Knife will be wrapped up in there. Get a couple of stickers. I can never get the second one out. This, we'll get to that in just a few minutes. I love that reference. That's awesome. There are definitely some younger folks in the audience that will not get that. Are you ready? Ooh. And look at the colors. This is insane. This is called Camo Carbon Watermelon Sugar. It's a terrible name, but it is a really, really awesome color combination. I'm a huge fan of getting into colorful stuff. I'll give you a quick comparison here against 80s Camo Carbon in my amazing, absolutely amazing Devo Knives Fireball, the collaboration they did with Stasa 23. Nick and Colin and Kevin have a monster hit on their hands, and that's going to be coming out actually the day before this does. So there are going to be 2 knives this week that you're going to want to get into. But I don't want to get off on that. Let's get back into this. Now, to compare this directly to the Cyborg and the Cyborg Mini. Let's give a little readjustment to the camera here. Now I think we can get them lined up just a little better. All right, so here is the Cyborg. Here's the Cyborg Mini. And there is the Bionic. So really, that's exactly what this is. It's a Cyborg that's bigger and locking and front flipping. That's it. Yes, 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 I hate front flippers, but I have made a few exceptions. I probably shouldn't throw that there. That's distracting. And those exceptions always had one thing in common. They had a front flipper tab that was well placed. It was the right size. It was in relation to the pivot in the right spot. And it had really good jimping. All of those things together make it easier for me to manipulate. The Bionic has that. Now, if you want, there is a little fuller on the back side and the front side. So you can thumb flick, you can finger flick, you can do all that. Or you can front flip. So you have a lot of different options on how you open it. Whoa, I love that. I don't really have a hard time flipping it. So if you're like me and avoid front flippers because they're just not as easy to reliably flip as a standard flipper, I think you're actually going to enjoy this one. So now you've got the looks of a Jack Wolf slip joint, but made into a more convenient one-handed opener, one-handed closer that's a bolster lock. And I should probably flip that over so you can see that. Another interesting thing is when you look at all of the locking knives that Jack Wolf makes, they do a full-length backspacer, and that is to continue the look of being a slip joint. It looks like the back spring that you'd see on a slip joint, just like this. And I'll be honest with you, I love the double bolster look on this. Looks really classy, looks really, really cool. Now, the Bionic and the Cyborgs before it were unique designs created by Benjamin Belkin, the owner of the brand, for those that don't know. And they're not based on any traditional slip joint patterns like all of his other models are. If you get into pretty much any Jack Wolf knife, it's going to be based on a vintage pattern, you know, the common slip joints that you would come across. But not so the case with the Cyborgs and now the Bionic. Let's get into the specs very quickly. This was my very first Jack Wolf knife. This and the low drag I got at the exact same time, and I absolutely love it. I just think it is so wicked and so cool. The Mini came out just a few months ago. I want to say 3-4 months ago, so maybe May or June of 2024. Yeah, tell me this isn't going to get a bunch of pocket time. Oh, yeah. Okay, I promised you specs, and that's what I'm going to do. Your closed length is 4.41 inches with a blade length of 3.28 inches, cutting edge of 2.98 inches. And as I mentioned before, the scales on there are camo carbon watermelon sugar. I can't get past that name. And then, of course, your bolsters, your entire frame are going to be done in the dark blasted titanium. The hardware on this, he chose to go a little bit of a different route. It's actually a dark, really nice dark DLC coated titanium Torx for the pivot hardware, for the inlay hardware. By the way, you do not have exposed hardware on the pocket clip. We'll be discussing that in a moment. So the little bit of hardware that is on here is DLC coated. Now, if you decide that you would prefer to carry your new Bionic the same way that you carry all of your slip joint Jack Wolves, you can easily remove the pocket clip, and instead of having that ugly notch back there, you have a filler tab right here that will drop in place and screw in and secure in the exact same way that the pocket clip does. So you'll have a clean, uncluttered look. If you don't like the look of a pocket clip on your knife, then you have that availability. For those unaware, Jack Wolf switched over to S90V, over a year ago now. So they're doing all hollow ground S90V. They're always stupid sharp. The great thing about S90V is highly corrosion resistant and great edge retention. So whether you prefer the factory edge or your own edge, whatever edge is on there, it's going to last a good long time before it ever needs to be stropped, and certainly before it ever needs to be resharpened again. Your blade stock is 120 thou thick, and this is running on ceramic bearings, so it's going to be wonderfully smooth. And once this is broken in, I have not broken mine in. Once these break in, they just drop shut. The weight on this is 2.9 ounces. And the heat treat on this has it running at a Rockwell of 60 to 61 HRC on the scale. So it's easy to come out here and just ooh and ah and ogle over how gorgeous the knives are that Ben makes. But honestly, they really are about serious quality. If you are a slip joint lover, but you also carry regular folding knives, regular locking folding knives, these may be great options for you because number one, you could still carry both. Or number two, if you don't feel like carrying two knives on a particular day, you could just carry the one. You have the slip joint inspired look that you already love with the practicality of a one-handed opening and one-handed closing knife. I wanted to show you very quickly what you can expect with this knife when it's been broken in. And I'm not talking about weeks and weeks worth of use. I'm talking about, flipping it open and closed maybe a couple dozen times. This is my Benny that just came out a month ago. And as you see, it is incredibly smooth, drop-free. Takes very little effort. That's why I love the way Jack Wolf does this. I was honestly skeptical at first, the very first time Ben decided to do a locking knife. I mean, I knew that he'd knock it out of the park. I knew it would be fantastic quality, but I was like, man, I finally got into slip joints only because of Jack Wolf. And now they're going to stray away from it. They're going to go and do locking knives. What's next? And I'm glad to see that they've still been pumping out their slip joints. And they've also been putting out every now and then another nice locking variant. And he's not just making any variants into lockers. He's taking the best models, the best versions, and then he's putting even more thought into them and creating different executions. He has never used this watermelon sugar color range before. And it looks fantastic. Here's one thing I want to see. I have not tested this myself yet. I'm going to grab a UV light real quick. Let's see if it's UV reactive. Okay, I bet it is. Oh man, look at that. That's about as UV reactive as the Chaotic that's on the Mini Cyborg. See, there is a real difference there between certain colors that are UV reactive and other colors that are, while vibrant in the light, are not UV reactive. That's awesome. That is super cool. Now, it's not to say that it glows. It does not glow. But when hit with a black light, when hit with a UV light, it brings out those awesome alternative colors. So, there is your look at the brand new Jack Wolf Knives Bionic Jack. Again, this is going to be dropping on Friday, October 18th, 2024. And there are some killer choices available. I will say this, because he doesn't always do this. There is one new variant that's going to be a dealer exclusive. And it's real special. And I'm talking exotic materials. And Ben does not really do exotic materials, even though I've been pushing at him to. He does not do exotic materials. He has now broken out into an exotic knife and somehow managed to keep the price low. Don't ask me how, I don't know. He's going to be offering blue crystallized titanium for the inlays. Now, crystallized titanium, that gets up there in money like Timascus and Mokutai, yet he hasn't jacked the price up to a crazy degree. So always kudos to Ben for keeping his prices in line, knowing his customer base, knowing his audience, and understanding what they need, especially in this economy. So you got a lot of cool choices for standard versions through Jack Wolf, all their regular dealers. And then that one special piece, which I'm going to say it is probably going to sell out first. I love the watermelon. However, I really think that that blue is going to go first, just because people are going to go, oh my God, I've never been able to afford a knife with that material. It looks so cool. It looks so wild. So that's going to go first. No matter how you go, though, I promise you, you are absolutely going to love this knife. What a great size. Fits really good in the hand. It's not quite as big as the Benny. The Benny is a little bit larger. I don't know if it's really longer. I think they're about the same. But because of the shape of the handle of the Benny, it's definitely bigger. This is sleeker. It's slimmer. It's got a completely different profile to it all the way around. Oh man. So damn cool. So damn cool. Anyway, for those of you that are picking one of these up, congratulations. You are going to love it. Please come back and leave a comment down below and let other people know what you thought of your new knife when it arrived. And if you have any current locking versions, the After Hours, the Benny, whatever it is, of a Jack Wolf knife, leave your comments down below. How's your action? How's the lockup? What do you think of the knife overall? Is it a good representation of a bolster lock in a slip joint design? What do you think? Anyways, with that, I'll see you guys on the next video.